Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. It's been quite some time since I've made a video in this room. I've been filming outside, I've been doing vlogs, I've been doing different types and styles of videos, but it definitely feels good doing them here. Today's video I'm going to be talking about how to get started on hormone replacement therapy. I know this is a very important step in someone's transition because it helps them become who they really want to be. I know not everyone wants to be on hormone replacement therapy, but the majority of the transgender community does. So that's what today's video is going to be about. I've been on hormones for about 3 months now. I will be making an update shortly because I have felt changes. But as you guys can see, my boobs are growing tremendously. I'm not wearing a bra right now. I feel like my boobs are still at a stage where it doesn't fit in a bra, so I'm kind of just let them out. Hopefully it doesn't look too awkward, but they are growing. Before we get started, I did want to preface that getting on hormones is very expensive. The hormones itself, the blood work, the doctor, the endocrinologist, the therapist, the psychologist, it does add up and it's very expensive. I've been blessed and fortunate to have family that are super supportive and help me with that. But I know a lot of transgender people don't have that kind of money, and I have been struggling in order for me to get that money. So I did want to, preface that it is very expensive. I know since getting on hormones is very expensive, people do self-medicate and they buy hormones off the black market or they buy it online. And trust me guys, that is super dangerous. When you're on hormones, you definitely need to get checked up with the doctor. It can be very dangerous. I have heard so much stories. I've witnessed firsthand. I've seen patients that have self-medicated and they pretty much are super sick right now. So it is very dangerous, and I do want to make sure that no one here in my channel ever self-medicates with hormones. I know that it is expensive, but it's always good to do something how it should be done. So trust me, self-medicating on hormones is very dangerous. So here are the steps to how to get on hormones. The first step is coming to terms with being transgender and telling your parents and your family about it. I think it's very important to be educated in your community and what it is to be transgender. So coming to terms with it just means being okay with it, accepting yourself for who you are, and coming out to your family and friends. I know that coming out is definitely very hard, but it's important to have a support system and someone you can go to with being transgender, because transitioning with hormones and all these things, it's very difficult, and it's super important to have people next to you and always supporting you. So coming to terms with it and coming out are the first steps that you should take in order to get on hormones. The next step to get on hormones is therapy. Now, this is the tedious part because the therapist has to approve you to go to an endocrinologist. An endocrinologist is basically a doctor that focuses on hormones, so they focus on estrogen and testosterone, and those are the doctors that are going to prescribe you on hormones. But before that, you have to get approved by a therapist. And the tedious part is that it can take from 6 months to a year to 2 years. For me, it went pretty quickly. I got the approval in 6 months. So I know that it's different for everybody, but going to therapy, you have to go to a transgender related therapist, and they're gonna pretty much want to know about your story, and they want to make sure that this is the right step for you. So that's the next step, is going to therapy. I know that a lot of people feel like it's forced, but I think it is very important that you talk to someone about it and talk to someone before going on hormones. So that's the next step. After your therapist approves you on getting on hormones, your next step is to look for an endocrinologist. The hard part about this is that you have to look up which endocrinologists near you work with transgender patients, because not all endocrinologists works with transgender patients. And if you are underage, you have to make sure that the endocrinologist does work with underage people. So it could be hard looking for people that can work with you. But yeah, your next step is to look for an endocrinologist and make an appointment. And making an appointment with an endocrinologist could be tough because they are booked like 4 to 5 months prior. So seeing them does take quite some time. I know I was very impatient. It took me like 4 months to see my endocrinologist, and I was like super pissed. But yeah, that's your next step. After you make an appointment with an endocrinologist, you're going to wait, and then when you go to the appointment, they're going to do a physical. They're going to talk to you about hormones, the risks, how you're supposed to take it, and things like that. The appointment took a long time. It took like 3 hours. We did so much. But they're not going to prescribe you the hormones that day. You have to do blood work before they prescribe you. So they're gonna talk to you about the risks, how it works, how much you're gonna give you, things like that. And then they're going to transfer you to a place where they do blood work. After you do your blood work, you're going to make another appointment with your endocrinologist so they can talk to you about how your estrogen and your testosterone levels are looking, and just your blood, to make sure that you are healthy and are able to take hormones. So you make another appointment with the endocrinologist, and then in that appointment, that's pretty much what you're going to talk about is your levels are ready and if you are qualified to be on hormones, because you do need to be pretty healthy to be on hormones because it is a very strong drug. So they try to see if you're healthy or not. And that's the next. By the way, yeah, it's very long. It takes a very, very long time to get on hormones. As you can see, I'm gonna use me as an example. Coming out to my parents and getting them okay and on board with being transgender took about 5 months. Then therapy took about 6 months. Getting an appointment with an endocrinologist took like another 5 months. And then my blood work and then making another appointment with an endocrinologist took me like another month. And then I got prescribed hormones. So it takes a very, very long time. You just have to be patient and work with what you got. After you do your blood work and do the second appointment with your endocrinologist, that is pretty much when they're going to prescribe you hormones. And by the way, they're not going to give you so much hormones at once. They're going to start at the bare minimum and work their way up. Like me, for example, I started with 1 milligram of estrogen, and now I'm at 3 milligrams of estrogen and 100 milligrams of testosterone blockers. So it's a process, and they do this because if they put so much hormones on you at once, you don't know how your body's going to react. You don't know if your body's going to go in a shock. We don't know how your body's going to react. So it's always good to start at the bare minimum and then work your way up. But yeah, that is pretty much how you get on hormones. So this is my womanhood. This is my testosterone blockers, and this is my estrogen. I take them every single day. And by the way, I use Walmart because they are the cheapest. Publix is super expensive. Target is super expensive. Walgreens is super expensive. Walmart, super cheap. So if you're ever going on hormones, trust me, Walmart is super cheap. I don't have insurance, so they don't help me out with this. I pay full price for these pills, and Walmart is the place to go. I hope you guys found it very informative. And if there's anyone out there that needs help and guidance with their transition, feel free to DM me on Instagram or send me a message here on YouTube. And before I end this, I do want to say that everyone's transition and everyone's journey is completely different. I don't know your journey. I'm not you, I'm just me. So this is how I got on hormones, and I know that everyone has their own journey. So getting on hormones for you might be a little bit different than me, but I just wanted to share my experiences and how I got into hormones. Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!